Over the past few weeks, about 2-3 weeks or about, I've heard some of the most awe-inspiring stories ever. Some of the most amazing comeback stories. I've heard some of the most brilliant and most touching stories ever. Now you think you're going through the worst, you think your case is the most severe, you think you're going through the worst thing ever, and then you hear someone else's story and you completely forget about yours and you're crying. Like, you really went through that? You think you really went through that? I'm sorry right now. And there was a common theme among everything, and a common theme of God, and I'll get to that shortly. But the most recent one, just one I want to share with us. The most recent one was what really struck something in my mind. Just yesterday, I called a Uber driver. I couldn't Uber. Speaking into the airport, so I was trying to return back to work after a conference. And the Uber came. I didn't even notice. When it was my mom that was seeing the missing, he doesn't remember anything. So I noticed that he didn't really, he had a bit prosthetics on. Because Bird had updated both his name and prosthetic. So we regularly Uber, amazing man, brilliant, amazing man. We were talking, making small talk. I was tired, but we're making small talks, and I was always getting to my stop. But just before I get to my stop, I asked him, because I feel mine, it's okay with you, can I ask about your legs? That's fine, and I laughed. I was like, absolutely, can I ask about it? Let's talk about it. The reason I asked, by the way, wasn't because I was nosy. I asked because I like to hear such stories. For some reason, they inspire me. And I did ask him about his legs. What happened to your legs? And then he went on and on about everything that happened. He was in the military for a bit, and he landed awkwardly, and then he tore his meniscus. His meniscus, right? MCL or something like that. And then he had about 7. Just follow me carefully. He had about 7 surgeries in one knee. And after a while, she was laid off from a bit, but he recovered from it, and then went back to the military, and apparently the knee didn't heal properly, and then he was injured and had another surgery. Then had surgery on the knee too. He just landed his ankle and landed awkwardly again. His ankle was twisted. Then he had multiple surgeries in the ankle, but it still wasn't healing, and then it's like an infection. It just went altogether. He had, if not more, at least 10 surgeries on both legs. Eventually, they actually amputated both his legs. If not, I think they said if they didn't amputate it within a week, the infection can get to your body and he could lose his life. He had to amputate both his legs. Really, I think they went from the right one first, and then some months later, or about a year later, he transferred to the left leg. They had amputated to the surgery, take his life. And eventually, in the space of about a year, they amputated both legs. I was like, wow, they asked me a question. So I said, what got you through those seasons? This is for time. Because if you amputate my leg, I'm done with life. I'm done. I'm sitting idly doing nothing. I just want to be. I don't want to do anything. What got you through? How were you able to come up from it? By the way, he's doing amazing, right? It's just about some of the houses he has, and of course, I'm not equating into material things, but he's doing well. So I asked him. He was doing Uber for crying out loud. So I asked him, what got you through this? And then he said 2 things. First thing he said is parent, and then second thing he said God. And the second thing is what I'm focused on